Sergei Kravinoff, aka Kraven the Hunter, is one of Spider-Man's longest running foes, with the goal of proving that he is the greatest hunter in the world. And given what he's managed to achieve, I'm willing to give him that title. But he's had quite a history and is an enemy with much more depth than one would initially suspect. So we are counting down our top 10 shocking Kraven the Hunter facts. Number 10. In perhaps what is regarded as the best story involving Kraven the Hunter, Kraven's Last Hunt, Kraven finally succeeded in taking down Spider-Man by simply shooting him with a rifle. Having taken him down, Kraven takes his place as Spider-Man. Temporarily. You see, he didn't actually kill Spider-Man so much as set a new plan in motion to prove his superiority by capturing Vermin with his bare hands, a feat Spider-Man required Captain America's assistance to do, which actually brings us to our next noteworthy point. Number 9. Yes, tragically, Kraven took his own life at the climax of this story. Having proved his point to Spider-Man by allowing Vermin to defeat Spider-Man, Kraven has completed his hunt. He sees no foe worthy of defeating him and has proven that he is superior to Spider-Man. Finding peace in this, he releases Vermin and allows Spider-Man to pursue Vermin with the knowledge that Kraven will never hunt again. Kraven confesses to his crimes and in his final moments takes his own life by firing a rifle in his mouth. Rest in peace. Number 8. Considering that last point, you might find this a little strange, but he's a comic book character and no one stays dead for very long. So Spider-Man's clone Kane was killed fighting against Cravens Family, who had machinations to revive Crane using the blood of Spider-Man. The problem was, he was cursed to a state of unlife, which makes him effectively immortal. Number 7. So because of the curse, Kraven can only be killed by Spider-Man or one of his clones. Kraven wasn't happy to be alive, so he tried to make Spider-Man kill him almost immediately. But given Spider-Man is, well, Spider-Man, this obviously didn't happen. So instead, he retreated with the rest of his family to the Savage Land, which was definitely not for their benefit as most of them would die due to his actions. Kraven was definitely not a family man. Number 6. Spider-Man became Kraven the Hunter. In What If Spider-Man number 1 from the 2011 edition, a one-off tale, Spider-Man in a conflict with the Kraven family finally kills Kraven the Hunter. Unfortunately, this sets off a chain reaction in Peter, leading him to track down his enemies and kill them one by one. Eventually, this leads Peter to becoming the new Kraven, and enslaving the original Kravenoff family. Madam Web tries to enlist assistance to take down Peter, including allying with Venom, Anti-Venom, and Spider-Woman. However, none are successful. It isn't until Spider-Girl succeeds in blinding Peter and sparing his life that Peter finally gives up his life as the Hunter, forcing him to live seemingly on his own. Number 5. After his family resurrected him, Kraven found himself dissatisfied having only a daughter to carry on his legacy, leading him to force the High Evolutionary to create 87 clones of himself. Kraven took the clones to the Savage Land and trained them in the ways of the hunt until sending them out into the world. However, one of the clones began to hunt and kill his siblings. After giving his brother's skulls to Kraven, Kraven sent his clone to capture Spider-Man in hopes of using him to break the curse. However, after Spider-Man refuses to kill Kraven, Kraven realizes what he must do to perish. The curse states that only the Spider can kill him, and so he, just like before, becomes the Spider and allows it to be his undoing. Kraven dons a copy of the black suit Spider-Man costume, and when the last son of Kraven returns home and finds Spider-Man, he promptly begins to beat him and finally kill him via strangulation. However, after unmasking him, he finds that he's actually killed Kraven. Kraven, having foreseen this, left a letter to his son stating that it was his destiny to inherit Kraven's legacy and become the new Kraven the Hunter. Number 4. So before the MCU reintroduced Tom Holland as their new Spider-Man, the Sony franchise starring Andrew Garfield originally planned to introduce their own Sinister Six, which Kraven the Hunter had actually been planned for. They went as far as teasing it in the post-credits for the second movie. However, since Spider-Man has since been rebooted into a split universe with Sony and Marvel Studios, that movie was eventually cancelled. Although some think that Kraven has a good chance of appearing in the MCU. Could be. I dare not make any predictions, but I'd be open to that. Number 3. We've established that Kraven's family is pretty messed up. Well, this is apparently a hereditary trait, as the Chameleon, aka Dmitry Nikolaevich, hope I said that right, is also his half-brother. This fact wasn't revealed until after Kraven died the first time, and despite being Kraven's personal servant and the abuses he suffered at Kraven's hand, the two were still best friends, which is kinda nice in a twisted serial murderer kinda way. Number 2. As we know by now, the Ultimate Universe basically made significant alterations to a lot of characters. In this universe, Kraven was a reality TV show host, an interpretation that would also be used in the 2017 Spider-Man animated series, where he hosted a show called Kraven's Amazing Hunt. This character is presented as being part Australian, which makes the show resemble the old show Crocodile Hunter. That said, this version of Kraven is comparatively weak and is promptly defeated by Spider-Man on live TV, resulting in his show being cancelled. Kind of an embarrassing version of the character in all honesty. Though, that's nothing new for the Ultimate Universe. And number 1. Yeah, this is actually brand new. So Kraven, or rather Clone Kraven, as some fans are not into this new Kraven, in the second issue of Deadpool, actually is successful in trapping and disabling Deadpool. Of course he hasn't succeeded in killing him, and given we're only in the second issue, I can't see that actually happening, especially since at the last moment he's teleported away by Elsa Bloodstone by shooting him in the forehead, but still. It's an impressive feat to be able to go toe-to-toe with Deadpool in any capacity. And those are our top 10 shocking Kraven the Hunter facts. He's actually a pretty impressive character in the hands of a good writer. And Kraven's Last Hunt is a fantastic storyline. Any Kraven moments stand out to you guys? Let me know. And as always, have a good one.